Good day everyone. Today on the bench I'm going to tie you up a tied down caddis. Here's a fly that's been around for quite some time. It hasn't found a lot of favor in a lot of caddis fly boxes for some reason. It's a pattern that rides really nice and low in the water. It's a pattern you can skate on rougher water. You can trim this hackle down the front even a little more on the bottom, and you can get it sit down on slicker water in streams, lakes. You can skate this around. You'll really get some attention from some trout looking up for some caddis flies. So what we'll use for materials, I'm going to be using a standard dry fly hook. This is size 10. I'm going to be using some rusty brown thread to tie with. Body, I'm going to be using some ultra translucent. This is Legis dubbing here, ultra translucent. It's sparkle rusty amber or the October caddis. The hackle, I'm going to be using some brown saddle, small saddle hackle there. The shell back will be some real nice elk hair. With this, got a little bit of coarseness to it, so I'd get some flotation. So we'll just get our thread and get our hook here, and I got to thread my bobbin. For some reason it slipped out on me, so bear with me. But it's a pattern that it looks very simple. It doesn't really look like much of a dry fly, of course, but it's one I'd like to show you because it's a very effective little pattern here for sure. We'll get a hook in the vise here. We'll tie it up quite similar to my premier fly that I tie for deep water. I fished that one very close to the top too. It's a little bigger, a little different bottom, but a lot of these patterns you tie do get some similarities to them for sure. There's so many different styles that cross over. So just, I want a little bit of a buggy dubbing here. Use a Antron based dubbing or something that will float, a dry fly dub that doesn't soak up the water too much. And we'll get a nice orange rusty amber here. Calls for orange on a lot of the recipes you're going to find online or whatever. This rusty amber is a great coloration for that. You can see the translucency in that material. We're going to bring in some of this elk hair. I'll take a little, clip a little piece of hair off, chunk of hair off there, clean off the under fur so we can get it in our stacker, and get the tips all nice and straight. I'm going to take it, tie it from the front. I've got quite a patch. I usually stack a little more hair than I need. If I need to take away, it's easy at this point. I'm measuring for my tie-off position is at the back. So then I want to have whatever I have sticking out here, I'm measuring, and this will be my tail. So that's how you can measure those full backs when you tie it from the front to the back. 8/0, you can get a pretty good pressure on that. Just watch you don't break it. Handling your threads is something you get used to after a while. If you're breaking your thread once in a while, you're pulling it just about right. And then you just back off a wee little bit, but put some tension on them. Now I'm just going to take about 4 or 5 turns at the front. I got one here sticking out of the way here. And that'll give me my legs at the front. And then I'm just going to palmer back equal turns. I'm coming back with my thread and my hackle together. It keeps it strong. Get that off. Then I'll just trim the top so my shell back will pull in there nice and tight. Now in the back here, I'm just trimming my hackle short, not the front legs, just on the body. I'm just shortening that up because I want it to sit in the film. I don't want the hackle really holding this pattern up too high. Then I'll pull my shell back tight. Oh, there we go. That's what I was talking about. You lean on that thread enough and you'll break it the odd time, and that's alright. No one have to give up here. We can just rethread my bobbin. I use a lot of 6/0 thread when I'm working with hair because I can lean on it enough. It's just that I had this 8/0 in the rusty brown that matches this hackle and or the dubbing a lot better. So that's why I went with the 8/0. So if you got 6, it's even better. 8/0 will work. Just like you say, you just have to make a few more turns, a little less pressure. Those wild ones out of there. I'm going to tie down the back here now. You don't have to give up and start all over. You can just kind of start and re-wrap in there and it'll all work out. And so there we go. We have, so here if I was going to fish slicker water, I'm just going to take my scissors like flat here, basically. And then we have the leg sticking out the side. That'll skate quite nicely. So it's not a very pretty fly. Wouldn't win any awards with that one, but I'll tell you, it will catch fish, and if that's what you're out to do, here's one for your fly box. All the best. This is a tied down caddis.